Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Wednesday edition of IAPN Radio, Iowa Pagan News on the Prairie Land Radio Network. And this evening, we're joined by our special guest, Teri Nelson Ireland, who is the publisher for Metaphysical-Times newspaper. And to my knowledge, hers is the only actual newspaper in the pagan community. I know that there's a lot of magazines out there, but from what I know, Metaphysical Times is the one and only actual newspaper for the community. So, when I first came across it, I had to check into it. I had to get in contact, and I'm really happy I did. So, I want to say welcome, Terry, and thanks for taking some time out to join us.
Thank you,
Well,
Earl.
good to see you.
Thank you, Christy.
So now, uh, what what brought about you deciding to bring about the newspaper to the community?
Well, let me give a little bit of backstory.
Hmm.
Okay. I've learned the hard way that if you don't do what your spirit guides ask you to do, they ask you a little harder, and then they ask you a little harder, and
Hmm.
they will bring you to a place where you have no choice. That you can no longer do any of the things you thought you were going to do. You're going to do their bidding. You're going to do what they want because they know what's best for you. They have a bigger picture perspective.
Yeah.
And so that said, I was minding my own business in the shower one day where they usually like to sneak up on me.
Okay.
And they said, or I heard and saw this newspaper. And I got the impression, a very strong impression, that they wanted me to make a newspaper. And I kind of laughed and I said, hey, down here at our 3D reality, I don't know if you know this, but newspapers are closing left and right. And they didn't care. And they started to show me fonts. They started to show me layout. They started to show me the name, things like that. Okay, so I got out of the shower and I came back to my metaphysical store and and did everything I do all day. And a couple of weeks went by. The full moon was coming. It was going to be a blue moon on All Hallows Eve. So I finished with the trick or treaters and I closed the blinds and I lit my candles and I sat down and I said, okay, goddess, you show me. You show me what you had in mind. I had a pad of paper and I drew and wrote as frantically and as furiously as I could. They gave me the name, the color, the font, the layout, the types of articles we're going to have. And they said that it's part of my, I was saying, mission um, as a pagan business owner, to provide a safe space for people of all spiritual beliefs to express themselves authentically
Hmm.
and safely. And this is just an extension of my store, basically. And so I thought, that's a pretty big order. I don't know how to make a newspaper. By trade, I have been a geologist, a quality engineer, an archaeologist, never a newspaper publisher. So another few weeks go by, and one of my friends who's an astrologer who moved to the Idaho area from California was in my store, and we were visiting, and I said, gosh, you'll never guess what my guides have asked me to make a newspaper. And he says, hold on, I'm going to run down the block to my office. And he comes back with a stack of newspapers that he used to make when he lived in Southern California. He
Hmm.
knew how to do the layout. He knew how to do everything we needed to do. So we started from that. And that was a little bit after Samhain of 2020. We put out our first issue for Imbolic of 2021. Not Imbolc, excuse me. I always want to add an extra syllable there. They told me the newspaper will be based around each of the Sabbats of the Wheel of the Year. So it comes out 8 times a year. It comes out a
Hmm.
couple of weeks before each holiday. So it helps you prepare for the holiday. It gives you some recipes, some oils, some ideas, some history. Talks about some of the deities that you might want to involve in your own personal ritual. It helps you maybe to connect with others that are nearby or far away and have ritual with them as well.
Very cool. Now, 'cause I mean, doing a newspaper, that is a huge undertaking. Um,
It is huge. And I just put out a sirens call. I need writers, I need graphic designers, I need helpers of all kinds, and people have just
And they
continued
just kind of fell.
showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just proves once again that if you allow yourself to be led, you won't be led to the wrong place, and you'll be
mhm.
led to the help that you need to accomplish what it is that the universe is trying to get accomplished through you.
Very nice. Yeah, I understand fully about your guides basically telling you time and time again
Hmm.
and to get your attention as like,
This this is
yeah,
where you are. This is where you're gonna. This is where you need to be. Quit trying to go away from it. Yeah.
yeah,
I
and
tried
it's,
for 20 years to move away from this area. Never could.
mhm,
And I have an education. I have skills and talents that are easily,
mhm.
I could easily work in any part of the country. No, they knew that at this point in my life, when I was just about ready to retire, I'd be opening a metaphysical shop. I'd be creating safe space in a very religious, conservative part of the country. And I'd be helping a lot of people to be able to stand in their truth in a way that feels safe to them.
I completely
That's
agree there. Um,
that's you. You aren't alone. I'm excited about this because
Yeah.
how great does that feel to know you aren't alone? Because I have spent the last 3 years feeling like I've been completely alone in being called to create my publishing company.
Oh, there you
Twisted
go. So you
Souls
know what
Press.
I'm talking about.
I
Yeah.
woke up one day with the words "Twisted Souls" in my head, and I was
Hmm.
like, "Okay, cool." I mean, I'm an author and all this stuff, no biggie.
Uh-huh.
mhm.
And then, like, for 2.5 weeks straight, I couldn't do anything. I ate it, I drank it, I slept it, I
Yes.
smelled it, I tasted it, and it would not go away and it would not leave me alone. And that has led me here, right here to this spot, right here to this moment, being
Yeah.
able to connect with someone who's was drawn to doing something like that the same way.
Right? Yeah.
Your story was just like,
Mhm.
whoa. So thank you for showing up because it gave me the sense that I'm not alone in this. This isn't I'm not the only one that it came to like that. You know what I mean?
Right. And I feel like I'm not unique. I feel there are lots and
Mhm.
lots of people that have been picked to do different jobs at this time in human history.
Yep.
And we're all sort of pins in the map, and I'm the pin in the map in my area. And I keep getting assignments, chores and lists and I
I'm
do my
just a little ways away from you too. You're in Idaho Falls, right?
uh-huh.
I'm in Ogden, Utah.
Oh, you're kidding me.
uh,
Yeah, you're not very
I
far
might
away.
cry. oh,
Yeah, it's about like the same kind of story with me back in uh, after I came in the community back in 2003, and then and lo and behold, in 2012, when while I was running my own DJ service, uh, basically, yeah, I got also told that I needed to incorporate that into serving the community, and I got shown that doing radio, doing interviews, doing podcasts. That was what I was meant to do. And so that started up in about 2012 when I first started up the radio and doing a lot of interviews. And over the years, because basically back then, it was just going to be something fun for me to do. But now, with everybody who I've talked to over the years, they've all told me the one thing is that the job I'm doing now is very important for the community, and this has turned in to be well now that I'm actually on disability from my full time job. This is my new full time job now, so
Mhm.
this has become a uh, regular full time thing.
They got that pesky human occupation out of the way so they can fully use you, huh?
God, I just
Yeah.
got chills. I just got chills. Like the universe built this platform for you. It forced you into building your
Yes.
fallback plan. Oh,
Hmm.
oh, the
Hmm.
chills in that, man. The chills.
They knew long before you did that you needed to have this in place.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So now, what kind? As I say, did you take like media courses or anything in college or? Um,
Just the basic general ed requirements. And I always did well in English and writing and things like that, and journalism classes and things in school, but
hmm,
never thought that I would, apply them to anything.
very
Universe
cool.
Lo
drops
and
them out of the
behold,
universe for you. You don't
yes.
have to know it yourself if you know people who do.
Right.
That's
Hmm.
been yeah. I didn't have to know how to set up a radio station. I met Earl. I
Right.
didn't. I
Yeah.
didn't know how. Yeah, I didn't have to know
Yeah.
how to create a book cover. I've got a girl in Australia that does an amazing job, and she's working with me.
Yeah.
It's yeah. They
Yeah.
fall.
And
Yep.
our staff is a combination of paid workers and volunteers. And some folks have only stayed a short time, and some have stayed a long time, just depending on uh, whatever it was we needed to get from each other from that particular relationship. And no hard feelings ever. People come, people go. It's very
Hmm.
fluid.
Oh
Hmm.
yeah. Now, from what I also know is that you have been looking for outlets all across the country to carry the newspaper.
Right. Hmm. I I imagine this little magazine or newspaper should be in little crystal shops and mom and pop bakeries and metaphysical stores and spiritual centers and Reiki treatment facilities all over the country. Uh, Currently, we have over 80 U.S. locations where you can pick up this paper, and two overseas, one in Scotland and one in the Netherlands. And this paper is growing rapidly. It's growing so fast. It's just proof to me that one more time I was led to where I needed to be, and I'm just simply the hands and feet of the universe in this
Right.
endeavor. Yeah,
Mhm. Well, I have notified all of the metaphysical stores here in Iowa
good.
about this.
This
And
is
so,
wonderful. Yeah.
and oh, also, hopefully, if Kieran is tuning in up in Boston, he's also stated that he's got several outlets for you up in the up on the East Coast.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Now he
So,
was saying that when he was with us last time.
yep. So hopefully
Yes.
hopefully he'll tune in tonight and will be chiming in. Now, for everyone over on Facebook, if you are tuning in right now, click on the live video feed, and that'll bring you over into StreamYard so you can post your questions for Terry and you can join us in chat. And if you'd like to be on video with us, I'll send you over the link, and that way you can come and join us. So now, the partner that you've got right now, so I mean, did he have all of the necessary machinery and equipment and whatnot for this?
He did, but it was antiquated. And so we put together the first issue, and then he moved on to some other things. And so, but it helped all of us that worked on it to get savvy very quickly about software
Hmm.
and about what are we going to need to be able to do this, and what is the skill set of the people that we're going to need
Right.
going forward. So he helped us with that first one and then went on to other projects.
So now, are you doing all the printing yourself, or
I,
are you
I
having the printing
yeah,
done elsewhere?
the printing is done in a little print shop in a tiny town in Idaho that still prints newspapers. And so they usually print things like the farm and ranch circular that goes in bigger newspapers. Uh,
Hmm.
the local big classified ads thing that you find for free in all the grocery stores, and things of that nature. It's a tiny town.
Well, it's about like my hometown newspaper. Uh, we've we've had a population of like 1,300 for years,
Uh-huh.
and we've also got a small town newspaper, and
Mhm.
they did their printing right there on site, and it's been going strong for many years. So I definitely know what it's like trying to do that in a small town.
Yeah. Well, they're about 100 miles from us. We're in Idaho Falls, and they are deep in southeast Idaho, and they send the printed copies up on the regular newspaper truck that comes
Hmm,
up super early in the morning.
cool.
Hmm.
Now let's see. So we know how you got your start in all this and what led you to it. Um, I would say, have you been able to come across a lot of the articles that you're publishing, and you got people out combing everything that they can possibly think of for articles for the paper, and
The, the way I started, I just reached out through my own social media contacts. And I do have a lot of them because of having the metaphysical store.
hmm
And, uh, and so there were, there are lots and lots of quiet, closeted groups around here that I know of simply because they, come to the store to buy candles and, various things like that. And
hmm
so I just started reaching out, and then those folks contributed, and then they told their friends, and their friends, told some more friends. Then we got a little bit more sophisticated with our website and started to issue like a call for for submissions and things like that. But we have contributions from writers now from all over the world.
wow.
Yeah, it's just all over the United States, Canada, the UK, India, Spain, Italy. Wow, it's just amazing.
Well, and I
It's
It's amazing.
believe this,
Congratulations, because
yeah,
that is quite a feat. As a publisher,
right.
it is quite a
Yes.
feat. So congratulations.
Uh-huh.
well, and plus, I believe this year is going to be the year that um, a lot of publicity is going to be focused on the pagan community
I believe
because,
so. I sort of feel like we've all been working, tirelessly backstage, and now all of a sudden a big spotlight is going to be on us. About what I
hmm
don't know, but I feel like we've been getting prepared for something.
yeah, and I believe it's going to be in a positive way.
Yes.
Although there are going to be some times where, yeah, a lot of us are going to have to invest the time to educate people
Yes.
who don't quite
Mhm.
understand yet,
Mhm.
but and let them know that the only reason that the spotlight is on us right now is because our numbers are growing.
Oh, our numbers are huge. If you look at the trends on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter about anything to do with spirituality, witches, pagans, whatever, those numbers are huge. People are
hmm
looking for their community, they're looking for their tribe, they're reaching out and trying to get connected with people and discover the old ways again together.
hmm That's true. And the one the one idea that I just brought about with Christy last night, which was I know it was late last night when I did that. Uh, I came up with it just wound up getting popped in my head that uh, we needed to start doing a series for to help basically educate people on the value of going back to the way our ancestors used to live.
Right. The way our grandmas and great grandmas knew how to watch the sky and read the land and
hmm
grow the food.
Create
Yeah.
medication, create medicines,
Hmm.
and use
hmm
their physical healing powers to,
Hmm.
yeah, get
Yeah.
back to that. I mean, the spiritual health movement, I think, has created a really big opening for us.
It it really has, and I think that there's also a cultural movement coming online where people are just fed up with religion, and they know they want something of a spiritual nature in their life.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really know what that is, and they want to find a community of like-minded individuals to do that with, whatever that looks like for them. But people are generally fed up with religion. It's been my experience.
A lot of solitary witches
Mm-hmm.
are coming out of the woodwork too.
Mm-hmm.
They've been practicing on their own behind the scenes, kind of, not necessarily in the basement trying to hide anything, but they're just, I'm doing my thing. What's okay? They're
Yeah.
starting to come out and look for that community
Mm-hmm.
sense as well. So, I mean, it is just coming in from every direction, and
It really is. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if you turn on the TV and flip through the channels, there's a show on about pagans or witches on every night on some channel, and people are watching. People are they're looking for it.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I think it goes back to something I read in a book that got published back a couple of years ago by my good friend Tamara Forsland out of Australia. She published the book Pagan Elders, and one of the excerpts in her book consisted of the the witch census,
Mm-hmm.
and it predicted that our numbers are going to almost double or triple
I can see that.
within the next 5 years.
Yeah, I can see that.
do you
So
do you think it's going to be like new witches, people who are like just figuring out that this is like real, or are we talking about you know solitary witches that are just kind of coming together and becoming visible?
I think it's both. There seems to be two waves coming. The folks that are coming out officially, and the folks that have just barely discovered it. And one thing I've noticed for myself is that, especially when I'm learning something new that has a metaphysical bend to it, it
mhm,
feels it feels like it's a long lost memory returning as I'm learning.
yeah,
It doesn't feel like learning; it feels like
oh yeah,
remembering. Yeah, and as more people discover that feeling, they'll be reaching out.
Yeah, they'll be. Ooh, I should talk to you. Ooh,
Hmm.
I should talk to you. Yeah,
And
I'm feeling that.
yeah, here in Idaho Falls at my metaphysical shop, we have a series of fun events called the Witches Night Market, and it's this little street fair we have once a month in the summertime. We have psychic fairs, we have drum circles, we have stuff going on all the time, and the main reason we have that is so people can find community. I mean, sure, they can buy some little witchy trinkets too if they want to, but it's
yeah.
mostly about the looky-loos coming to take a look and see and finding out that they're not alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is very true. And
Mhm.
I've I have people contacting me on almost on a regular basis now, and
Oh, yeah.
coming to me and asking for information
Hmm.
and where they can go, where they can find uh, groups and whatnot. And it's like uh, I do the best I can to assist them with their questions. Um, and usually it also includes me um, sending or steering them in the direction of the right people who they need to contact.
Right.
Yeah.
Because not everybody's a good fit. I mean, you partly know, oh, well, these people wouldn't do very well with those people. So I'm not, you know.
That's and now that we have the internet and online, the
Mhm.
ability to spread that reach
Oh,
and
yeah.
reach expand the community online. That was a really big deal for me, being where I
Mhm.
am in the heart of Mormon country. There's not a lot that's out here. Um, and there's a really tight control over it. We
Yes.
do have
Mhm.
one metaphysical store here, and it is like on the outskirts of town. It exists.
It exists.
It exists,
And
and
I
it's
think they
here.
carry the paper. I think they do.
That is my next move, is to find out if they'll carry it. And I'm sure they will. So
I
I'll be in
think they
touch.
might already. We have, I think, 3 locations in Ogden, or 2 in Ogden and 1 in Roy.
Okay, then you probably have the one in Roy.
Yeah.
That's the one I go to. That's the only one that I'm aware of in the area, and I don't know of any events or anything that we hold here. Just because of how religiously staunch it is here.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I have the ability to outreach on the internet. So
that's right. There are lots of places in the country that have one predominant religion. In Boston, it's Catholics. In the Wasatch Front, it's Mormons. It's just how it is. Yeah.
Now, like I said, for those of you who are tuning in over on Facebook, be sure to stop in and say hi. And if you have questions for Teri, feel free to post those. Just click on the live video link, and it'll bring you over into StreamYard so that you can post your questions for us here, and I'll definitely get those over. So we welcome anyone to come join us. This is our regular Wednesday night chat that's more laid back, sociable, and we're going to be covering a lot of different topics. So if you got something that you'd like to add, or an idea that you'd like to run by us or run by Teri, feel free. That's what we're here for. So let's see. Now I know that you've got the let's see, you've got another edition that's due out, right? Or are we still operating off of your past one?
The Imbolc issue just came out for 2021 or 22. Looks like this. It's got a little bit about Chinese New Year.
Mm-hmm.
Imbolc.
Very
Got
nice.
a beautiful picture on the front.
Cool. Now, how many articles have you got into the current edition right now?
I think we have about 10 different articles, and some of them are about the Sabbath, the holiday, and some of them are about astrology. Some of them are about how to create sigils. There's a whole 2-page spread on creating sigils in here.
Very cool.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
That's something everybody is curious about. What are the rules? How do I do that? What does it mean? And that is from a contributor in Sedona, Arizona, which is, pretty important, vortexy kind of place.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There it is. Mm-hmm. I mean, we have several hot spots for the community all across the nation.
Yeah, we really do. Mm-hmm. We always have a featured crystal each issue. This one is Peach Moonstone. I don't know if you can see that.
Very cool.
Yeah. It's really, really fun. It's about 16 pages. It's full color. It talks about upcoming events. The website that goes along with it is amazing. You can subscribe to the newspaper, and it will come to you free in your inbox as a newsletter. We have different levels of contribution for folks that want to support us through Patreon. We sell advertising, of course. I got to pay the bills somehow.
Right. Right.
We have a little directory inside of it, directories of healers and shops and leaders and different services.
That's great.
Yeah, just a little bit of everything. Mm-hmm. Anyway, our website also has a calendar of worldwide pagan events. And so we're trying to get the folks that organize those events to put those, to get them all on that calendar. I imagine when it's fully fleshed out, it will be the kind of thing where you just go, I'd like to take a Reiki 2 class. I wonder where there is one. You just search the calendar and you can find one, and find out it's only 100 miles away. And there you go. Off you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
I would say, are you getting a lot of help especially from the UK and overseas?
Yes, and that's just barely coming online, and they are so excited. They're so excited. We're going to have to find some newspaper publishers in the UK to handle the traffic over there. Rather than shipping the whole newspaper, we could send the file to a printer, take care of it that
Hmm.
way. But oh, it's fun. It's yeah, it's like the whole world is going to be
Fascinating.
so
Yeah.
connected. So,
Yeah.
So I know this is an exciting time for you, and I'm really glad that we connected so that we could learn more about what you've got going on. And like you said, um, I know darn well that yours is the only newspaper for the community.
right. There are
And
lots. Yeah, there are lots of magazines, lots of
mhm,
websites, lots of social media threads, things like that. But we're the only newspaper, and that makes us kind of special.
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I will soon be picking up a subscription myself.
All right.
So,
Now, subscription to have it delivered to you in your mail is only $20 a year, so it's very reasonable. It's more
yeah,
important to reach people than it is, you know,
right.
to make a buck. That's the universe doesn't care about us making a buck. They forget that we need food and shelter.
Yeah,
We have
yeah,
to remind them.
yeah. They tend to forget about the important things. It's like, and even when we do remind them that, hey, you may think things work one way, but
Yeah,
it
I've
works
only
another
got
way.
I've only got 3 dimensions here to work with.
Yeah,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
yeah. Usually, in my case, when I kind of come back, I was like, okay, things don't quite work that way in my universe, and the only thing I can chalk it up to is uh, getting a Gibbs slap to the back of the head.
Yeah, bop.
Yeah.
Get the bop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I have to get a little bit cross with them and say, you put me here to do this thing. Now supply me with the materials to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So now, where do you see this going in the next couple of years?
I really don't see that there's a limit to the number of subscriptions that will be going out, the number of advertisers that will be interested in it, the number of readers, the number of people who want to be published in it.
Hmm.
I mean, every issue, when we have all of the articles all together, we have to bump a few back into the article library because we just don't have enough room. So
Wow.
it's good. Yeah, we've got. Um, there's a need. We have the content. We have the way of getting it to people. Now it's just a matter of everybody that needs to find it, finding it.
Nice. So now, what would you say is your own spiritual path?
Mine is a little bit of a combination of. There's a little bit of Eastern stuff in there, Reiki and energy healing and things like that. But if I had to peg myself as something, I would probably call myself a druid.
Hmm. Makes sense.
Hmm.
Definitely makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm a
Um,
healer myself. I have a million certificates in different kinds of energy healing, mostly Reiki, and uh, a love of the land. That's my geology degree shows that love of landforms, and then archaeology is a love of ancient cultures. And now I see so clearly how it all comes together in one
mhm.
thing. Mhm.
Right.
When would you say that you first realized that you are meant to play a part in the community and um, realize, or when you first discovered the community?
Okay, this is a fun story. So I was raised Mormon in Salt Lake City, and then we moved to Rigby, Idaho, uh, for high school. Um, but my mom had an older sister who was the family mystic, She burned candles and she had all of these cool books, and she had a pyramid, a copper pyramid in her living room, and she knew how to do your astrology chart. And anytime something went a little haywire in the family, everybody went to Aunt Jeannie. So I kind of grew up thinking that, oh, all of this religion and all of that's fine, but when the rubber hits the road, you really need a mystic. So,
Yeah.
and I was a mystic child, and I thought that every kid was. I thought every house was haunted because every house I lived in was haunted. Not in a scary way, but there are always spirits and beings and things around me all the time. I could communicate with plants and animals. And then along comes puberty and high school and college, and you get kind of sidetracked by the 3D world. You think you need a career. You think you need a home. You think your home needs to look a certain way. White picket fence, 2 cars, freshly mowed lawn, and you get really involved in that world. And your job gets more and more important to you. You get farther and farther away, and eventually, the universe starts nudging you back to where you need to go. It starts sending you signs and omens. One of the most important things that happened to me was I was taking my dog for a walk in the evening, and I lived out in the country. And from the fields at the side of the road, this rabbit hopped out into the road in front of me, and he was about a quarter of a mile away. But the rabbit was as big as an English sheepdog, and it was solid white.
Wow.
And I kept walking the dog, and I kept getting closer and closer, and the rabbit just kept getting, he didn't run. I mean, it was like his eyes were drilled into mine. And as I got within about 100 feet of him, he hopped into the brush, and I never saw him again. And I thought, that's very strange. And that opened the door for animal omens to come to me daily. I would be driving to work. I had to drive 60 miles across the desert to get to work. I would see black panthers in the road. Black panthers don't live in Idaho.
No.
One day I turned on the road to our actual facility that I worked at, and there at a sign, there was a sign that had a black arrow on a yellow sign. It was like a squiggle, curvy road ahead. There was an owl sitting on the sign, and a rabbit and an antelope standing at the base of the sign. If that's not a slap to the, hello.
Yeah.
I'm eating my lunch outside at the government facility that I worked at, and I look up, and there's one of those huge owls in the tree right above me. There are only 2 or 3 trees on this whole place. We're out in the middle of the desert, and it's daytime, it's lunchtime. There's this huge owl above me. So anyway, I started looking into animal omens and started wondering what all this meant for me. And at the same time, I started to have a health crisis. I got sicker and sicker, and the messages got more and more frequent, more and more often. And I finally got so sick I was no longer able to work. I couldn't even operate the wheelchair they put me in. I had an autoimmune disease that was consuming my muscles and my connective tissue. So I couldn't get up and down stairs. I couldn't open a cupboard. I couldn't butter a piece of toast. I couldn't brush my teeth. For me to get ready to go somewhere took about 4 hours. And my 9-year-old son had to dress me and wash my hair and take care of me.
Okay, I think Teri just froze on us. So we're going to give her a second to. Hopefully, she'll be able to get reset. But this has been okay.
I'm dropping links to all of her stuff in the comments. So
okay, good.
We have links to the Patreon page, her the website, and the Facebook page for Metaphysical-Times are all in the comments now. So
very cool. Okay, looks like you're back with us there, Teri. You froze on us for just a second. There we go.
We're back.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know how you were feeling at that time because everything that I have been going through over the last year,
Yeah.
uh, with Guillain-Barré syndrome and not being able to walk, not being able to have the use of my hands or my arms. So I had to rely on others to help me. So yeah, I know what that's like.
Yes. And I see it now that it wasn't very it wasn't wrapped very pretty, but it was a gift nonetheless.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. It got me off the path I was on and onto the path I belonged to. Like I started to say a minute ago, I wanted to feel better. I did everything that the medical community could do for me to get better. But I knew that there was more I could do energetically. So I was
Right.
taking a chakra class. And as part of the chakra class, we were going to learn how to meditate or begin meditating. So the meditation started, and I crossed, put my hands in the position and closed my eyes. And that aunt, that older sister of my mom's, that had been dead for quite some time, popped into my, I guess my third eye popped into my mind. And it was like she pulled open some curtains like this, like boom, and she said, "It's just like we think over here." And then she was gone, and I knew
Hmm.
I was on the right track. And so from there, I learned all about energy healing, meditation, Reiki, theta healing, all kinds of things. And then that led me to retiring and opening the physical store. And
Very
here we
cool.
are.
So now, so besides the newspaper, you're still doing the metaphysical store too, right?
Mhm, I am. May I plug it?
Yeah,
Okay. My
please
my
do.
store
Please.
my store is called Healing Hands Metaphysical Store. I bought it in October of 2016. But this
Hmm.
is its 15th year in this community, and we have made it about 4 times the size it was when it first started out. My daughter is the manager, so it's not a mom and pop, but a mother and daughter endeavor.
You're not the only one. We've got a mother-daughter metaphysical store uh, to the southeast of my location. They're just across the Mississippi over into Illinois,
Ah,
uh, and uh, the name of theirs is BU Apothecary.
ooh, that's beautiful.
Hmm.
We we have um, we have a lot of college students that work here. They're all amazing, up and coming witches in their own right. Um, we have a little coffee shop too. It's part of our store. It's called the Egyptian. So we have a place for book clubs to meet and a place for drum circles to happen and things like that. So we're taking over downtown, waving our freak flag so the other freaks can find us.
Well, the metaphysical shops are really becoming more and more visible.
Yes. Hmm.
As
I
we
want
have,
one.
like I said, we have several here in Iowa, um, and I don't think you can even go to a really metropolitan area without finding one.
Right. Right. And the population of Idaho Falls, of Idaho in general, is changing really, really quickly. A
Hmm.
lot of people are moving here. They found out during the pandemic that when you work from home, home doesn't have to be in an expensive rental in a large metropolitan area. It can be it
Right.
can be in a cabin in the woods. It can be in an RV. It can be anywhere. So they're choosing to move to places that are slower and quieter and cleaner, places like Idaho Falls. But
Yep.
they still want some of the amenities they had in a big city, like a really fantastic metaphysical bookstore and crystals and meetups, festivals.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm honored to dish it up.
Yeah.
And we're definitely honored to have you be a part of this and uh, have a chance to really connect together uh, and hopefully hopefully be able to get you some more locations for the newspaper to be so that people can find it.
That'd be great. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Oh, we
No,
definitely got
Yeah. So
connections.
our website is, make sure you put the dash in. It's metaphysical-times.com.
Okay.
I don't know who owns metaphysicaltimes.com, but I bet they're really tired of taking our messages.
Ooh, that might be the case. So yeah.
But yeah, check out our website, check out our newspaper, give us a look. Join us if you want to. Share a copy with your friend. Read, just reading it is helping the community.
That's very true. Very
Mhm.
true. And especially if you've got writers from all across the nation and internationally uh, submitting articles to you to be
Mhm.
published. I mean, that
I can send you referrals all day long.
Right? Yeah, send them. Send
Yeah,
them. We pay a little. We don't pay very much. We pay the going rate, 5 cents a word. We don't pay very much, but it's important that there's an energetic exchange.
right.
You provide me the newspaper with a product, and it needs to provide you with some sort of
mhm.
compensation for your time. So
That's amazing for especially coming from a newspaper that's being distributed for free.
right.
That,
Uh-huh.
that's huge.
Yeah,
That's
huge.
huge.
And
So thank you for that.
we're just really going out on a limb and crossing our
Mhm.
fingers. And I just keep telling my guides, hey, bring me more advertisers, or bring me whatever to keep this up and running. So,
I'm pretty sure that once a lot of other people start catching on to this,
mm,
that you'll definitely have a lot more advertisers and subscribers as well.
yep. And interestingly enough, one issue ago when I was packaging them up to mail, my guides told me to to make it for sale. So I thought, well, okay. So if anybody, that doesn't mean I'm going to stop. You know what I mean? I'm going to
Right.
keep on cranking out those issues, but I needed to be prepared mentally for somebody else to be able to take it on at some point
Right.
and
Mhm.
take it to places I couldn't, and I have to be okay with that. Yeah, whatever that looks like, I don't know, but at least now I know to prepare for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, all I can do is wish you all the best.
Well, thank you.
And um, this is, like I said, this is something I wanted to really dig into and find out more about, and so that we can get that information out in front of everybody, so we can tell them about you, tell them about the
Yeah,
newspaper, because, like I said, this is something unique for the
so
community. This is,
it's unique,
yeah.
and it's going to be huge. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to come on here today and talk to you two and to all of your watchers and listeners and viewers, and just keep sharing the good news.
We will
Well,
be sure to do that. And everyone out there who is listening on Facebook, um, be sure to check out Metaphysical Times newspaper. Like Terry was saying, subscriptions are only $20 a year, and that's that's hardly nothing these days. Because shoot, most subscriptions for magazines these days are going for like $20 a month.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
close to that mark anyway.
Mhm.
Because I know a lot of them are selling for like anywhere from $10 to $20 per magazine.
Mhm.
So having a subscription for $20 a year for is and that's gonna, let's see. All right, refresh my memory. How many sabbats have we got per
8.
year? Eight.
Yeah,
hey,
So yeah,
so what is that,
so
250?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a bad deal.
No, it's not a bad deal at all. So that's very
and for
well
news
worth it.
that's for news that's relevant.
Right.
Oh my God.
And there aren't any.
You're not gonna get the Deseret News. You're not gonna get the Washington Post and all
Yeah,
of those that are gonna be relatable to us on a community level.
right. This is just
This,
community
yeah,
community relevant news.
this
Yeah.
is huge.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, I definitely want to say thank you for taking time out to join us tonight, and uh, this has been really great being able to get to know you, get to know what you're doing over there, and uh, we're definitely going to be making sure we get the word out to a lot of people nationwide, uh, and hopefully maybe even some more subscribers across the pond as well.
Heck yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Terry, is there an email address or something that you want to leave with us so people can reach out to you when they have, they want to submit articles or they want to subscribe? Do they just go through the website
Just
or
go through the website.
okay?
You can click on submit an article, or you can click on subscribe. You can click on contact us, and that will funnel it right into whatever email box it needs to go to.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm excited. This is
Yeah,
as a
it
publisher,
is.
this is big news for me. So this is like
It is.
yeah.
It is. And the way we've grown is just phenomenal. First we're just here in my own shop in Idaho Falls, and then we're in a couple of other little shops in Idaho Falls, and then a couple in Utah, and then sprinkling here and there, northern Idaho, Montana, Washington, and then all of the sudden, like 2 weeks ago, we had we doubled our distributor list like overnight.
You're going to be adding me to it because my online bookstore is going to be yeah, they'll be able
Yeah,
to get it there too.
definitely. Yep.
Very cool. And let's see, I will also make sure to add this to our website here at iapnradio.net, and then also Prairie Land Radio Network, or excuse me, I should say plrdn.net. So I will definitely make sure that they're up on both of those websites so that people can gain access there as well.
Okay. That's great. Thank you. I appreciate your help. I feel the love from you guys. This is amazing. This is awesome.
Thank
You
you
are
for joining us. Thank you for
Yes.
being here and thank you for being an outlet. I
Yeah.
mean that's it's what we need. It's what we've been talking about for weeks is having somewhere that, hey, okay, you're new. Here, check this out.
Right.
hmm
Right. Hmm.
Check this out. This is a way to see what's going on within the
Yeah.
community and
Here's a
who
resource. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah,
Right.
absolutely. So thank you for listening.
Yep. Because
Thank
right
you.
now we've got, let's see, we've got what? One, two, three or four of us who are doing internet radio as a part of the Pagan Media team. And basically, we all communicate with each other on a regular basis. Um, and I've also, like I said, I also mentioned this to Melissa Anderson, who is in charge of Cauldron Radio and also plays a part with the Iowa Pagan, or excuse me, with the International Pagan Music Awards. So she is now aware of this, and uh, hopefully we can get this put up on I or up on International Pagan Radio as well. So
Oh, good. I
uh,
hope so. I know my calendar is filling up with interview requests from different podcasts and things like that. So it's all part of the process.
I
very,
hope you're ready for this because it's about to flow.
Buckle up,
Yeah.
Buttercup.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's it's about like what I usually say when I'm DJing. It's time to grab on and hang on.
Hmm. That's right.
White knuckle it all the way, but ride it to the end because good God, the things that are going to come out of this.
Oh yeah. I mean,
hmm
like any new process, like birth is messy, but it's
But
Yeah,
so worth
yeah,
it. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
very well worth it. All right, Terry, thank you for joining us tonight. This has been fun. And we're definitely be staying in touch. Look for at least a couple new subscriptions coming your way.
Oh, can't wait.
absolutely.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
You are very welcome. You've been listening to another Wednesday night edition of Iowa Pagan News on the Prairie Land Radio Network. And we just got done talking with Terry Nelson Ireland from Metaphysical-Times newspaper out of Idaho. Uh, a lot of big things will be coming up here and this is all starting to come together, which we are very happy and excited for. So, with that being said, I want to say, those of us here in the Midwest, keep warm because right now it's only 8 degrees here in Iowa right now. So, for those of us in the Midwest, stay warm, keep everybody around you warm and safe. Uh, and I will say pleasant journeys and have a great night, everyone. We will see you again. In fact, we'll be back again tomorrow night with another interview. So have a good one. We are out of here.